Hello friends, Tofal Smokey here with our first Warframe guide. Today's guide is going to be all about the brand new Buried Debts event in the Orb Valis, specifically the fractures and how you're able to obtain this new beauty, the Opticor Vandal. We're going to be going out on the Orb Valis for this, but real quickly I just want to give a brief rundown of what we're going to be doing and what weapons and frames we're going to be using. The event is basically a series of mobile defense missions with a single mobile defense target that you actually move between several areas and have to keep alive the whole time to earn the most possible points. At the 100 points in the event, you'll get the Opticor Vandal with several other rewards tiered out throughout, including sigils, emblems, and the new Amalgom mods. Now, as much as I'd love to take Hildren out there, she's not quite ideal for this. More likely we're going to be running a defensive frame like Gara. Gara, Limbo, Frost, all these are going to be quite handy if you're planning on doing this event solo. But I would definitely recommend bringing friends, as the levels do get a little bit high, and things can get a little bit hectic if you don't keep the alert level low. So we'll get Gara out on the Valis, and we will run down what you're going to need to do to get the Opticor Vandal. Now, when exploring out on the Valis during this event, you're pretty quickly going to discover that there are ruptures in the ground with some kind of crazy orange liquid spewing up. These are calling these fractures for the event, and Utiko will explain just a bit.
Use that coolant to dilute the thermia and seal these fractures. Go crack open a coolant arachnoid and use its canister on this fracture.
Yeah, so what we need to do is get coolant, put it in the fracture, seal the fracture, everybody's happy. Where do we get coolant? Not specifically said by Utiko or any other quest NPCs, but if you fly over to the Temple of Prophet and look around the side here, you're going to see the Exploiter Orb has had some kiddos of her own. All you're going to need to do, kill a few coolant arachnoids, preferably all of them, as they do drop a stance mod for the new Katana, the Tatsu. Grab the coolant cell and book it. Once you're safely away, find a fracture, and begin. It may take a minute or two to locate one. I know we passed at least one or two on the way here, but they are quite common in the Valis at the moment, and there's one right there.
You ready? Drop that refined coolant into that fracture to get the party started.
Let's get the party started.
Protect the canister.
So, as I said before, this essentially turns into a mobile defense. However, the big difference is that we need to go 4 stages of this mobile defense, and we only have the one defense target. This coolant cell needs to stay alive to get the most possible points for the rewards for this event. Typically, each fracture that you close will give you 1 point, but if you close 4 fractures in a row, all of the same container, you actually get a bonus 3, giving you a possible 7 points per run of this, essentially. So we will allow the coolant to fill up here, give it a minute or two to do its thing, and we'll check back on the other end and continue on from there.
Fracture sealed. Let's do it again.
Let's do that, Utiko. Now the container is finished with the first fracture. You see the orange has moved about a quarter of the way up through the blue coolant, indicating that we might need to do this 3 more times. Let's see if we can find another fracture. There's a couple right next to each other here, right off of the pearl. So we'll go ahead and insert this coolant into the second fracture and continue on. Now the second canister is finished. You can see the coolant is only about halfway up, so we do need 2 more fractures. We'll go ahead and find those. I think you guys understand the idea by now though, so we'll catch you at the back end of the last canister to kind of explain exactly what we're getting and show you what the rewards are when we extract. Okay, now as you can see, the 4th and final coolant canister is almost finished. Let's let it finish its job. And as you can see, the coolant has finished. It will ask us to pick up the coolant canister. And then we're going to get diluted thermia. I actually had a Smita Kavat buff and I got 8. You typically get 2. And then a resource booster will double that. The diluted thermia, we don't quite know what it's used for yet, presumably to craft Hildren. I did purchase Hildren with platinum, so I can't say for sure yet, but we will be keeping an eye on that one. Now once you've collected your diluted thermia, you have 2 options. You can either extract back to Fortuna, or head back to the Temple of Profit to kill more coolant arachnoids and take another cell. At that point you can continue the process of closing these fractures as many times as you need to work towards those rewards. As you can see, because we completed all 4 of our extractions with 1 cell, we're actually going to get a bonus. Typically it would be 1 point for each fracture, but if you complete all 4 in 1 run with 1 coolant cell, you'll actually get a bonus of 3. I had exactly 100 for my Opticor, and it gave me an even 107. As you can see, it is going to take some grinding with a maximum of 7 points available for 4 mobile defense sections, but the Opticor Vandal, let's face it, it's worth it. That'll about wrap up the guide on how to complete the Fractures event located on the Orbvalis and obtain the Opticor Vandal. All of this was performed my first 100 at twitch.tv/TofalSmoky. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments or stop by on the Twitch channel. We're live just about every day playing Warframe, and we will be grinding this new event very hard. We're probably going to be getting more diluted thermia just to see if it's makes anything good once we get some more blueprints and whatnot from the rest of the event, and hopefully the Exploiter Orb very soon. So that is all for today. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.